Now, since you have also given a background to what issue-based campaign is, being that the political parties or the political players, it means they should stay on their manifestos. They should focus on what they will be doing. Now, over the years, what we've had happen is people coming up to use words that obviously not even to be broadcast. Sometimes what they do is to call out their opponents, and this has gone on for years. This is what we have seen happen over and over and over, and even before the campaigns. If you are very familiar with what's happening on Twitter, especially, that's what has been happening. Some people, calling out other people in other political parties. Do you think it is possible, all right, to even get our politicians to focus on issue-based campaigns? If yes, how do we get them to focus on issue-based campaigns?
It's very simple. Like I mentioned somewhere in a particular event, I said that we should, as citizens, we should also begin to name shame. What do I mean by name shaming? When you attend a political gathering and you notice that the politician is playing to the gallery, he's not speaking to the issues. Walk away. We will stage a walkout. Although that may be difficult because usually political gatherings in this climb is attended by party sympathizers and all of that. So, but we can start somewhere. You talked about the social media. It's already happening on the social media. There are a lot of people that have come to the social media, to attack personalities, to attack individuals, and you see people coming out to, actually shame them, although we call it online bullying, but sometimes when you look at this bullying, it's about shaming people, people who have refused to engage in issue-based campaign, because it is a lack of issue-based campaign that has brought us to where we are today, because certain persons made promises and we did not adequately interrogate their capacity to bring those promises to pass. We did not ask the right questions, such as, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? And politicians are getting away with a lot of things because as citizens, we have also been very, very indolent, in challenging the status quo, in challenging these persons. So it is very, very important, even though it's going to be tough, but with the level of political enlightenment that we have today and with the new wave of interest in electoral participation, this is calling on civil society organizations, the media, and every other, including and basically religious centers and opinion molders, to also take advantage of this process to do what we call agenda setting. So one of the ways we can make politicians to stay on the issues is that we should set the agenda for the politicians, because what we have seen in this climate is that we allow politicians to set the agenda for us. The media used to play that role, even though I think that gradually that the politicians are taking over that role from the media, So we can tell politicians, these are the issues we want you to focus on, the issues that are peculiar to us as a people. We earlier talked about the challenges of insecurity. We talked about the
ASU strike.
We talked about the in tertiary education sector and all of that. So we can submit a template. As a matter of fact, politicians by now ought to have, candidates by now ought to have concluded their needs assessments, So in the course of embarking on their needs assessment, then we now present to them this template of needs, which they will now incorporate into their, manifesto, their strategic documents. So we can't tell politicians that, look, these are the issues that are important to us and these are the issues we want you to talk about. And I think that it is possible because our awareness has increased over the period of time.
Right.
We're beginning to get politically conscious. So citizens, media organizations, and that's why I'm also happy with what we're discussing right now, because it is part of the process. So we can tell politicians, please, when you come, this is in our community. We don't have toilets. We don't have a health center. how can you give us health center? How can you give us water? Don't come and tell us that the reason why we don't have water is because social politicians share the money with his girlfriend and all of that. That is immaterial. Tell us how you that has come to get our votes can give us this thing. So,
okay.
Traditional rulers, CDC chairmen, and all of that can also set their own agenda, for these politicians. Because there will be a lot of movements right now moving into communities and all that. So when they come, engage them and present your template of needs before them.